Hey, what's up? There's a gross stain over here. I don't know if you can see it. I think when I was moving a couch or something. Wait. There. Boom. When I bought this house, they painted the walls kind of shitty, so picks up all sorts of scrapes and such. I hope this is working. Let me check the levels here. Let me be your moonshine. Before I read from my book, I was gonna sing a song that I found out. Well, because I'm doing YouTube, I went back and watched some of my old videos, and like they were back when I sang these songs in a weird way, like not the way they ended up being. So anyway, I figured I'd start with this. Oh, I wonder if this should be lower. Sorry, this isn't part of it. That still sounds kind of fucked up. Maybe old strings. It's just that one string. Baby, let me be your moonshine. Let me slowly drift across your face. Let me get down in your blood and go to your mind. Let me be your moonshine. Oh, baby, let me hear your voice. You don't have to be shy. All you need to do to catch my eye is sing your blissful song, and I'll try to sing along. Spent a long time searching for the moon. Rode this old boat along the shore, but no matter how long I hungered, she hid her face from me until the day I found her. All my troubles stayed with me. Baby, let me be your moonshine. Let me slowly drift across your face. Let me get down in your blood and go to your mind. Let me be your moonshine. baby, let me be your slow hand. Let me work your strings in rhythm. Let me sing to your depths and groove with the band. Let me be your slow hand. So that's Moonshine, Jeff Richardson. Hope that wasn't too long. Haven't played that all the way through in a while. Let me be your slow hand. All right, gotta pull up these notes. A shibbity doop ba doop doo doo. I gotta get to the right notebook. Oh yeah. And now I gotta find the right chapter. It's the first one that's got a number on it. Ayana. Chapter 27. Ayana. Ayana called the remaining workers to rush to her position. Those with firearms laid down suppressive fire as the workers ran. Bullets were ringing out all over the place as the assassin, assorted goons, and citizens traded shots. Ayana couldn't see Grundle, but she could hear him charging the mech, rattling equipment as he boomed across the metal floor. Then she heard him cry out, not in rage, but in pain. Peeking out from cover, she saw him, still charging, the side of his face seared and smoking. He had nearly dropped the metal bar and was wobbling dangerously as he ran. Casting her eyes about, she saw him, a fucking spellcaster, his dainty hands wriggling about with a string of red jewels, an evil grin upon his Yafriti face. She cursed him and his entire line, calling down violence from her goddess upon him. The acolyte to her right broke away to engage him, taking several citizens with her, snarling and wielding their improvised weapons. And then she saw a truly strange sight. A green-clad Mistral hung suspended in midair, thrashing about against a sparking powered net, his green robes getting caught up and exposing the creature's slender, heavily scarred forearms. What the hell? She wondered aloud. Then a bullet whizzed by her face, sending her diving back behind cover. I want to high five my own ass. I love this shit. What's next? Chapter 28. Creel. This was not in the plan. Creel was stuck, caught in a goddamn net, his thoughts raging, powers completely useless, painful snags digging at his flesh. He knew the thing was designed to encourage the captive not to struggle, but he couldn't help it. His plan was so perfect. How could things have gone so wrong? And then he saw him, the fucking bounty hunter. He racked his brain looking for his face. Joran Barlow, the bastard. You won't survive, Barlow. My men will destroy you and your sorry tribe. Joran stared at him from his place behind the cargo. What a buffoon, Creel thought to himself. Realizing he was losing control, he let his features go slack. He was caught. But it wasn't over yet. Maki would free him. That or his money would do the same. That is, of course, if the insane crowd didn't massacre him in their fury. He hadn't considered the possibility of such a large force. Even untrained, they could overwhelm him with sheer numbers. That one ended in huh? What's going on there? I need to grab a couple things. I'll be right back. Give me that sweet baby. Oh yeah. I said, get me some weed and get me some coffee. Yeah. Oh baby. Oh, should do one. What would it do? I do. Do do ba da bum ba da ba da bum ba da ba da bum ba bum ba da ba da bum. Okay, let's do it. Chapter 29. Grundle. He saw the thing shudder as he took it in the abdomen. Grundle couldn't be sure, but he thought he'd hit it in the motivator. The question was, how much damage had he done? The thing spun at the way. The thing spun at the waist, cracking him in the head with a cannon arm, sending him sprawling below its left leg. Grundle got his arms up just in time to take a bone-shattering smack from the other cannon. He grimaced. The pain was intense. Gods, what a monster. Lunging to his feet, he punched the motivator again and again, fists tearing apart as they crushed the remainder of the case. Bits of bent and broken metal tore the flesh from his forearms. Pounding and pounding, his vision went black as the blood left his body. The thing had its arms around him and was squeezing his chest into itself. He could feel the wires between his bloody knuckles pulsing with power. He couldn't be sure, but he thought he was dying. Oh, Grundle, don't die. Don't die, son. Chapter 30. Joran. He felt the shots before he heard them. Chunk, chunk, chunk into the cargo by his head. The woman was skidding across the ground on her side, blasting at him with a pistol and slashing at the net disc with a long-powered blade. The line snapped, the cables spiraling out like spaghetti noodles, his captive shuffling from the net and smoothing out his robe as if standing up from a table after a good meal. To Joran's left, he heard 3 sets of boots coming around the stack. In moments, he'd be boxed in. His only play was to run hard, get behind the ship and come back around behind the gunman, leaving Creel with a clear path to the ramp. He was screwed. If that ship had a pilot, it was all over. Creel was lost. Joran snapped up off the boxes and booked it, zigzagging between the hull and the loading machines as shots rang out behind him. He swore he could hear Creel laughing. Gods, what a bastard. Yup. That Creel, he's a dick. He's a son of a bitch. Chapter 30. Ayana. Go! 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 She couldn't wait any longer. The crowd had surged into the port, hungry for blood, and they were ready to strike. The workers who had been shooting had run out of bullets and had taken to bandaging each other's wounds. The few goons who remained were holed up above them, presumably holding their remaining rounds in reserve in case the workers charged. Blood dripped down on Ayana from above, one of the gunman's victims crookedly lying face down, glassy eyes staring blankly at the mass of citizens below. The mech had stopped shooting as well. As the crowd rushed up the stairs and around the stacked cargo, she expected to hear it fire up again, but it didn't. Standing defiantly beside her loyal crew, she gasped at the sight before her. Grundle was destroyed. His body was a black mass of bone and gore, torn in several pieces by the metal beast's massive arms. It was in the process of lifting Grundle above its head when Ayana saw it, the torn open casing of the robot's motivator. The entire area was black with Grundle's blood, just ribbons of steel and protruding, sparking wires. Even from here, she could feel the heat of the thing's central power source escaping through the opening. As Grundle's still kicking body rose through the air, she reeled back and hurled her hammer directly into the hole, guiding it gently with the grace of her goddess. There was a soft whoosh as the air around the robot stopped moving, its very existence stifled in the moment of the blast. Then everything exploded. Screams erupted from the crowd as boxes and machines and paperwork and bodies traveled in straight lines throughout the port. Every surface for 100 yards was instantly black with soot and red with blood. The robot, or what was left of it, lay in two pieces, the heavy lower portion, thick tree-like legs burrowed into the steel floor, and the arms still clutching the lifeless, smoking body of Grundle, his skin mostly melted, bones exposed in a strange pattern wherever the thing's arms did not cover. Smoke flooded the air as papers burned, embers fluttering down from above like fireflies in fog. Ayana felt hot tears on her cheeks as she pondered her dead friend's sacrifice, giving himself to save his fellow citizens. Heart swelling with love for him, she marched forward, sweeping her shield behind her as the bullets came pummeling from the deck above. As she reached his corpse, she saw movement. The female killer had slid across the metal floor of the port, firing across the chamber out of Ayana's sight. A milky green shape ruffled and straightened, then tilted as it moved towards the ramp. Was this the killer? The one who had murdered her fellow citizens? Was it Mistral? Could be. Well, we know it's Creel and he's Mistral, so. Man, I look all red and puffy. It might be the weed. All right. Hit us up on Twitter at EIA Podcast or me at El Jefe Tacoma. Everything is Awesome is the podcast. So look for it. Everything is Awesome with Jeff. And I guess that's it. Oh, if you want to be involved in the writing process, have us read your work or suggest a poet or whatever, a blog we should read, send that to everythingisawesomepodcast@gmail.com. And that'll do ya. I hope that song didn't suck too bad. Let me be your moonshine.